China to counter India in its Indian Ocean region, because though that China-Pakistan economic corridor, China will be able to directly access the Arabian Sea route, and though that the transport mechanism will be quite easy, and it will be able to cut down around 12,000 square kilometers of trade route, which will shorten its distance and also save time as well as resources, which will be very beneficial for China. Now there's also a policy of China, though which it wants to acquire any foreign country's land, though giving debt. I mean to say that China wants to expand its debt trap policy. That is basically it wants the foreign land to be acquired, though giving debt though giving debt and certain kind of loans, which will in future be cannot be repaid back though that particular nation, and China will be able to exercise its supremacy over the land. Now talking about China-Pakistan economic corridor, it dates back around 2013, 12 to 13, when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited China, and there on a summit the plan was basically talked about. And now then there afterwards there has been lots of development. It is a plan of worth $62 billion, and it primarily focuses on infrastructure development in Pakistan, so that it can link the Gwadar port directly to Xinjiang region, which is a little backward region for China. So it wants to develop it wants to link directly the Xinjiang region, so that it can be developed further and can be made comparable with Beijing and all. Besides that, it is also a mechanism through which it will be able to access more of energy resources, because particularly the POK region of Pakistan and certain other regions of Pakistan are rich in mineral resources, and though that China will be able to access the mineral resources of Pakistan, and it will be able to exploit the natural resources of Pakistan and build its own infrastructure in Xinjiang region. So though this plan of CPEC, China also plans to have access to Middle East region, so that it will be able to import and export its goods easily, though little or very less tariffs, because ultimately the main tariff or the choke point for China was Malacca Strait. It is also known as chicken neck of China. And if it will be able to access the Middle East region, though Gwadar port, then ultimately it will be having lots of benefits, and it will be able to completely isolate itself from the southern Indian Ocean region, and without taking much interest into others affairs, and solving its own obstacle as well. There are other aspects of this plan as well, though it also wants to counter USA hegemony, because in Indian Ocean region and South Pacific Ocean, there's a little rise of hegemony of Western countries, especially of USA. And if China is able to access the Gwadar port, then as I earlier said, it will be less dependent on Malacca Strait, and the South Pacific region will not be a concern for China for its trade and commerce. So this will also benefit China. In relevance to India, actually India was also in the starting. India was also given proposal to take part into this initiative, and it could have been beneficial for India as well. But the problem is that India already has vast trade deficit in relevance to China, and it has enmity with both of the nations, that especially the border dispute is the main reason behind the spirit of India having negation to the planning. Now the reason the China-Pakistan economic corridor region passes through POK, that is Pakistan occupied Kashmir region, and this is prime concern for India, because India claims POK region of itself, and if but the Chinese have already have already assented to the Pakistan that they will be making corridor to the POK region, and Pakistan has also already made pact around in 1963 itself of the related to POK region to the Chinese government then. Now, India's another concern is that with the development in Pakistan, China will have access to huge trade routes to Central Asia as well. It will be able to connect better to the Iran and other countries as well. So it will ultimately be harming the China's trade with these regions. So
India's trade with
it will be ultimately harming India's trade with these regions. So this is also another concern which India has to see. Now, on a global platform, if POK is given access, then ultimately it will ruin the hegemony and the dignity of India on an international level. This is because ultimately India has always been claiming the POK region, and if its claim is not given attention, then ultimately it will be harming its dignity on large platforms like international affairs and all. So, these are the basic details regarding China-Pakistan economic corridor. However, if peacemaking process goes on, and if the border disputes are resolved, POK is returned back to India with due agreement, then I think China-Pakistan corridor will also be beneficial for India. But given the present status, I think India's status quo is correctly defined, and India is defending its status quite well. Thank you.